Hello and welcome to our Conversations with Pathfinder series. This series of conversations gives us an opportunity to connect with some of our Pathfinders while learning more about their work on our strategic DEIB plan and their experience overall as part of this innovative group. Our Per Scholas Pathfinders play a critical role in our internal diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging journey. A Per Scholas Pathfinder is a trailblazer, willing and able to show a new way forward, leading through change, growth, and our evolving culture. I'm Emma McKee, Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Culture here at Per Scholas, and I'm with Jamie Feldman, our SVP of Enterprise Sales and Account Management. Hey, Jamie, welcome.
Hey, Emma, so great to be here. Excited for this conversation.
Yes, we are thrilled to have you. Thank you so much for taking some time. We're going to just jump right into a couple of prompts that we have to hear more from you about your experience. So you've been a part of Pathfinder since it launched in just early 2022. What have you personally gained from the experience as part of the Pathfinder group so far?
There's been so many lessons, both professionally and personally, that I've gained from being a part of this experience. First, to really listen deeply, I think is so critical. And to be able to take moments in your professional journey in which you are connecting with peers and colleagues from all different departments, all different backgrounds, and really opening up a safe space to hear their perspectives, to allow open and transparent conversation, and really to listen deeply. And so that's certainly one of life's lessons that I think is oftentimes overlooked. And I feel the Pathfinder's experience really reinforced that. Specifically in my role as client facing, listening deeply is so key to being able to truly address our employer partners' needs, challenges, and problems. So definitely wanted to highlight that. The second lesson that I would love to highlight is how everyone's story, how everyone's position allows them to receive and process information in a different way. And to be able to be a part of an environment that is building such a strategic foundation to our DEIB strategy, it really just solidified how critical it is that we need to take time to get to know one another, take time to sit in each other's shoes, in order to then be able to make some really reflective decisions around strategy that we would want to take across our DEIB initiatives.
Yeah, it's really throughout a lot of the conversations about the Pathfinders, this kind of listening to other people's perspectives theme comes up in one way or another, and you've gone right to that in this first question. So it's really nice to hear that through each person's experience as a Pathfinder, and is what you just shared now, that you've had a chance to learn about that, to experience that in your own way throughout this process. So that's wonderful. And just based on that, I'd love to hear a little bit more about, so you talked about your experience and the lessons you've learned. How was the structure of the Pathfinders group set up in a way that enabled you to gain from the experience, to learn those lessons in a safe way, as you mentioned?
Absolutely. So I think first and foremost, having the expertise and the guidance of the facilitators, Tia and Heather, and really creating a blueprint for what this work should look like up front, setting expectations, setting boundaries, setting norms for what these conversations should look like, really just gave the environment an ability to flourish. We were all, handpicked to be a part of this group. And I can say that most of the individuals within the Pathfinder group, I do not have an opportunity to connect with and work with on a day-to-day. So it was so exciting to really be able to get to know peers in this setting, and having the groundwork really set and kind of carved out for us gave us an opportunity to really move pretty efficiently as a group, as a team, to hit those milestones that I know are so critical in the overarching Per Scholas DEIB journey. So that was really powerful. And then
Sure.
also having open dialogue, not being afraid to bring, either provocative or heavy, quote unquote, topics to the conversation, and really providing space and thoughtful guidance and solution oriented ways to get through some of these, really challenging topics. So that was really powerful as well. And then third, the educational component of it,
Mm.
bringing in subject matter experts that are positioning thought-provoking, whether assessments, thought-provoking moments that really challenge what your own thoughts and perspective are on DEIB strategy. So all of those were just really powerful examples of the type of environment that was created for us to really be able to thrive and flourish.
Yeah, it's incredible to hear how impactful the environment within the Pathfinders group was to creating that safe space and a productive conversation. And I don't know if there was an intention in the beginning of this work, but it's really itself to say, not only are we doing all this work as Pathfinders in DEIB, but we've learned now in almost a pilot kind of environment how to create space that lends itself to these types of conversations. So if we can take some of those lessons and some of the structure that was created within Pathfinders and use it out in the organization, the training piece, the norms and expectations, the safe space, having people who are really trained in the facilitation piece of these conversations, all of that, if we can expand that, we can create real safe space environments for these conversations to happen on an ongoing basis throughout the whole organization. So I appreciate that when you and I have talked previously, that you've brought that up as such a powerful part of your experience within the Pathfinders.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Great. And so now we've talked a lot about inside the Pathfinders and your experience there, but the whole point of this Pathfinders is that you are all serving as somewhat representation for the entire organization. You've been out there talking to other people in the organization as a member of the Pathfinders. So what lessons or skills or insights from your experience will you be able to bring with you now into your work on a day-to-day basis and as you continue growing as part of our organization?
So that's such a great question. And as a leader, you're constantly trying to learn and educate yourself as to what is the most effective communication, what is the most effective way to enable safe spaces, what is the most effective way to manage diverse teams. And so there are so many moments specifically around certain diversity threshold and metrics that were introduced that I think just serve as a really grounding way to take those evaluations and educate the team and position them across different projects, initiatives, and really start to just incorporate threads of this critical work into our day-to-day so that we're constantly in a state of educating and growth and being able to surface that and really prioritize that across the team. And so I will certainly there's many lessons both from Tia and Heather, from Ken, from you, that I will take to the team, but also the lessons that I had learned from my colleagues in this environment. I mean, I'm so grateful for their insights, their perspectives, because it just allows me to have a much more macro view of the culture shifts that are happening at the organization and of the power that the DEIB work is to Per Scholas and how it serves all of our stakeholder groups.
Yes, incredible. And I love that you talked about just bringing it into the day to day. And that's definitely part that aligns with what this is all about, because we created that inclusion statement. DEI is in our DNA, and we really want DEIB to inform all decisions. We talk about that. And the way to have that happen is that it's second nature in a sense. It's thought about on a regular basis. It's in our day-to-day work and lives. So it's great to hear that that's something that you want to take with you as you continue, on your journey here with Per Scholas.
Absolutely.
So Jamie, the last thing that we want to just talk about as we're wrapping up our quick conversation, which we so appreciate, is what you're excited about for the future of this work, whether it's your involvement specifically or just the foundation that you and the Pathfinders have really started to lay for us going forward.
There's so much excitement, really. There's so much opportunity. We're at an inflection point within this organization where we see so much growth and impact and power in the movement that we're creating. And so I'm just so thrilled to be at the ground level, really a part of what this journey will eventually become. And so, it's hard because there's so much shifting, changing every day. I'm excited to be a part of the conversation. I'm excited to be an active leader in helping to move the needle and to really drive the momentum that's necessary for the culture shift around DEIB initiatives. I'm excited to continue building relationships with my colleagues that I've met in this group. And I just think there's so much opportunity, and we haven't been able to even scratch the surface. And so that's really an exciting place to be in.
Yes, it's hard to like rein it in and say, we have to start somewhere, and this is all about being intentional and slowing down our work in this space to really do a great job. So it's definitely, we get so excited about some of these topics, but we know that every step is important to the whole process. So I agree with you, though. I'm excited to just keep seeing how it grows and grows and grows in the future. Well, thank you, Jamie. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of our Pathfinders group. It's been such a joy for me to support the Pathfinders and see what you all are doing in this work. So I appreciate you. I appreciate the entire employer partner pillar that has worked so hard. And thank you for making some time today to talk with us and share your perspective.
Thank you so much, Emma. Appreciate your support and leadership in this.
Great. Thanks, Jamie. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.